make it work. So, here I am, commentating on my own video. This is a bit weird, but we'll see how this goes. So the challenge was getting an old mower running well enough to cut the grass. So this is a junker of a mower that I picked up for next to no money, obviously, and I think for 2 seasons now I've managed to get it to run well enough to cut the grass. It's obviously not an exhibition fingers. It's not an exhibition piece of machinery. Don't try this at home. I've been sat all winter. The blades are obviously rusty. This is from a couple of weeks ago, so I'll try and remember what I was actually thought I was doing. Getting rid of the old grass, cleaning her up a bit. And then that's a wonderful camera shot. I believe thought best check to see if she had some oil in her. That's quite a fast finding of tool for me. Usually it takes at least 3/4 of an hour. That's obviously the correct tool to do that. Also doubles up as a makeshift dipstick type thing. Just trying to see where the oil level's at. I've never actually changed the oil on it, to be honest with you. It was a bit low, so I decided just to top it up for now. Some oil in is better than no oil in. Did a quick Google and found this little pot of, I think it's 5W30. Who knows where that came from, but it'll do the trick for now. I think it was actually in an old shed when we bought the house. So a zero cost solution. That's what we like. I think I'm just having a look in the air filter just to see. That's obviously the correct technique for cleaning the air filter. The handle's broken, that's why it's got that bit of pipe on the left hand end of the handle. There's a crack in it, so I thought that pipe might help a bit at one point, but I think I just took it off this time because it just clatters about and makes a racket. Obviously the handle's fallen back, because I have to loosen the handle right off to shove it up against the garage wall to be able to get the car in. So I'll sort that out. I do sort it out in a little bit. In fact, I found some more reasonable looking nuts and bolts than the last time I bodged it together. There's like a notch on the inside and a hole in the end of the handle. So if you get the hole on the notch and then bosh the nut and bolt through, then it'll sit in a more reasonable position. It's a very loud exhale. It's strange watching yourself. I don't know why I made this handle sequence quite so long. I don't quite know what I'm going to do about the crack in the bottom of the left hand end of the handle, but I'll probably end up doing absolutely nothing about it until it snaps and falls off when I'm halfway through cutting the grass, and then I'll be forced to do something about it. But until that happens, I'll probably just ignore it. I'll have a think about it maybe. That's how it was when I obtained the mower, that bungee strap holding the chain guard on. The chain I noticed was rather slack. Could probably do with tightening up a bit, but the adjuster seems to be at the end of its travel. There's some play in that top bit, so I mean, there's everywhere you look, things are not optimal, but you know, it's like I say, it's an old junker of a mower, so it's just about getting it going well enough to get around the lawn and get it back in. I intend to keep using it for many years, as long as I can keep it running. But I'm not worried about it being a showpiece, should we say. I think the fuel that's in that can is as old as the fuel that's in the tank, but I'll fill the tank while we're on. Probably from last summer. I'm sure it'll be fine. We'll find out when we try and start it. I do lots of very heavy breathing. There's the taps behind the tank there. Obviously that's some wonderful camera work. You can see what I'm doing, but I'm just checking that's all together with it having been stretched. There's two sort of slotted screws. Again, a wonderful camera shot, sorry about that. It's quite good to watch these things back and learn about what I need to improve. So there's two screws that control the height of the blades against the main cutting blade at the bottom. There's a big, thank you, there's a big flat blade along the bottom, and then the spinny bit, which I think is called the cassette or something like that. There's an adjustment screw left and right that set the height of it. Obviously there's fingers, there's a bit of play in it, but you know, like I said, there's a bit of play in most things on it. But I figured it would be alright. The blades themselves were rusty, having been sat. So I decided to try and set about seeing if I could sharpen them. So I've seen that apparently what you do is put some valve grinding paste, again another wonderful camera shot, some valve grinding paste along the edge of them, and then wind it backwards with a drill. One trick I've discovered with this mower, I've saw some stuff on the forums that say the carb's junk, which is, it may or may not be. But I have previously dismantled it, cleaned it out, and put it back together. But it can still get gummed up. But I've noticed that if you turn the main screw on the bottom all the way in, and then back out 2 turns to where it should be, that kind of ungums it without having to strip it down and rebuild it. So I managed to find Brian the screwdriver, who is a long-time faithful servant, to get on those slotted screws to set the height. Fingers. That's obviously very, very tight, but I saw something where apparently you should be able to cut a bit of paper with it. So basically what happened is it would cut on the right and cut on the left, but not in the middle. So I think the bottom plate is bent. So I might do something about that at some point, but again, I don't want to spend any actual money on it. Might be able to straighten it out and make a better job of sharpening the blades, but again, good enough to cut the grass was the mission. Let's manage to do some cutting there. Look. So then I sat about trying to start it. Adjusts the carburetor, the choke with confidence there. Confidence, look at this. Here she goes. Ready? Oh, the starter thing's broken. The pull cord. It's not doing anything. Just checking the clutch is still working. Shove that about a bit, which did precisely nothing. So I decided to take that off. And on reflection, I don't know if I may have broken that by winding it backwards with the drill with that still attached. So you might need to check that, because I think I might have done that to it. In hindsight, I would check. So I basically just managed to unstick it with some WD, and I don't know if it just got stuck naturally or if I damaged it winding it backwards with a drill, but I seem to have got away with it. Managed to get it going well enough so it would catch, put it all back together, including the I do put it back together in a minute. There we go. Just trying to see if I've got the choke the right way. There's a little C on it, I think. Tighten a bit. And we're off. Now the blades were a bit tight, so once I got it outside, I slackened them off a bit with Brian the screwdriver, and then managed to cut the grass with it. Again, it's not a showpiece, a precision instrument, but at some point I could spend a bit of time making it work lovely. But it fundamentally works, and I managed to cut the grass, so I might might fix it up a bit better in future. But for now, over and out.